Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another day. I'm not even gonna lie, guys. I'm sitting down. I am beat today. Had some much needed yard work to take care of at my property. I had gotten some trees cut down, and some places they will haul away the wood chips. Most oftentimes than not, where I live, they don't. They kind of just leave the stuff on your lawn or whatever. So I spent a good while tidying it up, that getting that stuff up, and then I had some other things that I wanted to do around the house, mainly the gutters. For some reason, birds where I have my leaf guards, these finches, these little tiny birds, are able to get their bodies inside of this thing without cutting themselves up. I have no idea how they do it. But anyways, they had built a nest in my gutter system, so I had to clean all that out today as well. And just want to do a real quick video on a product that's essential. The product is a fix for something that is essential on RB once you start building power. And once you build power, you have to do something about the oil pumps because you're on borrowed time apparently. And so the remedy to that, you get a pump with stronger gears, or you can get gears for your existing oil pump. And then most oftentimes, once you do that, they always say it's not enough capacity. So you go ahead and you get the extended sump put on the car, which I am in the process of working on now, of course. Just had to get some time off to go to the shop so I can drop the stuff off, at least to get that process started. So anyways, you go ahead, get your capacity upgraded, and then the other step of that is, if you think about it, especially when RB, they already complain of oil just living in the head, right? Just building up in the head and not being able to drain back in time. That's part of the design flaws, I would say. I wouldn't say a problem, but a design flaw of the RB platform. So companies have made a solution for this stuff for years now. And what I'm getting at is at the back of your head, this one here, that freeze plug, you normally will pop that out, and then you'll drill holes, and then you'll tap it, and then that you'll run an external line down to your sump area somewhere down to the block to get that oil back down to the pickup as fast as possible. So that's what I'm going to do today. So it's like one of those things, man. Like, I realize this, but like with cars, bro, like when you start modifying things, it's like a system kind of. So if you change something in that system along the lines, you have to upgrade or change something else to now take care of what you just changed, right? So it's, and that's that whole thing where they talk about like the pigeonhole or the never ending list, especially with certain platforms. The RB is one of them. And believe it or not, if people don't want to agree, they don't have to. I can get some knock for this or whatever. But apparently, the Supra platform is the same way, right? It doesn't matter what year Supra. Just like with the Skyline, it doesn't matter what year Skyline. It's a pigeonhole. So you change one thing, you may now create a new weak point, right? Or you may create a problem that's got to have a solution. At the end of it, if you do that system correctly, you will have a high horsepower, fun, but reliable build. There's a word that's missing. It's cheap. You can't have all of them. You can either have two, one, and that's it. But you can't have all three. There's no such thing as cheap, reliable, and fun. I'm just going to tell you guys, I've been doing this for well over 20 years now, modifying cars, and it's you can shortcut it, right? You can get cheap if you want, but at the end of the day, you're going to wind up spending more money to do it right the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th time. How many times it may take you to get that through your head that there's no such thing as cheap and reliable for a long time. So with that said, I just wanted to go in this video what I picked up from HPR. This company is added to my international list of parts for this build. This company is headquartered in Norway, place that I want to go one day. Never could figure out what European country had like these canal systems. I knew the Dutch, they had that kind of stuff in Belgium and all, but I was like, just like, yeah, it never was Belgium. So anyways, apparently it's Norway. So anyways, this company is based in Norway, and they are RB fanatics. They are super fanatics. They are just car lovers, right? So they came up with a drain solution that I think is ingenious, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and take this thing out and hold it with this hand. So this here is the main part of the operation, right? So this guy is gonna go, once I pop that drain plug, it's gonna, freeze plug, I mean, that goes inside of the head. And the good thing is you can turn this, you can clock it whatever way you want. For me, I'll talk about it, but I'm gonna go a certain way with it. So anyways, this is the main operation. Got to look at this thing, and it is it's unrestricted. And that's one of the things that HPR touts. You see down in there. That's one thing that they tout about their product, that it's one of the highest flowing returns, which you need. You don't need anything that's restrictive. So anyways, it comes with that. Then it comes with a O-ring fitting. And then this is 10 AN, right? So it comes with that. Also, what it comes with is this bolt that is part of the locking design for this particular application, right? For HPR's product, which drew me to it. And the other main part of this operation is this here. So it's almost like a wing nut design, right? And what I'm getting at is design, you don't have to drill into your RB head. The prices of these parts is becoming priceless. And I'm not saying it like, oh, because it's the Skyline or because it's an RB. What I'm saying it for is because a lot of this stuff, guys, is not being made anymore. It's becoming scarce. That's why you got other companies now trying to develop like billet heads or cast heads like PRP. There was another company that I stumbled across. They actually do billet heads in New Zealand. It's crazy, you know what I mean? But again, the price of those things are going to be a little bit more. It's not as going to be like back in the days where you could just go get an RB head $300-400, you know what I mean, or just get a new one from Nissan for like $1,000 or whatever. You know, like those days are coming to an end, especially with like all these tariff things and just Nissan in general. I don't know if you guys know it. They're in some type of financial trouble apparently, you know, and they were trying to partner up with Honda. And at Toyota, I don't think ever was trying to like lend them a lifeline, but Honda apparently was. So anyways, long story short, a lot of this stuff is going to be becoming scarce. So you got to start treating it with like way more respect. You know what I mean? Like you can't just treat it like a throwaway. Anyways, that's what drew me to HPR's design. Like I said, that you don't have to drill into the block, into your cylinder head to get this thing installed. So just bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and set up the camera. And I'm going to talk about what you do to get this set up on your RB. So hold tight. All right, guys. So to pull this off successfully, the first thing you have to do is get this freeze plug out of your head. And what I'm going to do is I don't have a chisel small enough. So I'm going to try to hit it in the corner with a punch and see if we can get this thing to break loose. Yeah, I got stuff everywhere, but hopefully, guys, this will not be like this forever. Especially once I get that cylinder oil pan off. So as you can see, I got that spun around enough now. Now I'm gonna try to grab it with some pliers. Probably should have got my vice grips, but I'm gonna try to get it with these lineman pliers. Let's see if I can get it out of there. That really sucks. Well, you just seen what can happen to you on video. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we're probably gonna have to, let's see if I can. See if I get these things to work a little bit better for me. All right, so you don't goofy up like I did. Eventually you grab it, get that out of there. I think in some parts of the world, they call it a Welch plug, but I call it a freeze plug. And actually, if you guys have done this before, or you haven't, this Nissan freeze plug is wow, it's heavy and it's of quality. And then it didn't bend easy either. So another thing, if you wanted to know the purpose of that, those plugs are put in the block in the head. Say you're somewhere with extreme temperatures, they're designed to pop out and let the coolant and fluids out before they freeze and crack your block or your head. So that's what they're designed for. So once you get that in there, this has got a little bit of grind in there. So what I'm gonna have to do, gotta get some degreaser real quick or some brake clean. Hold tight, guys. Want to clean that little bit of dirt in there out. I got some Scotch-Brite, but I don't want one of the fibers getting down into this and causing problems. So just do this a little bit. You shouldn't need a ton of this stuff. As you can see, and I'm not holding it, so it snaps in. So that's really good quality. And you can clock it however you want. You know, you can have it straight up and down. But for me, I'm gonna clock it just a little bit to kind of aid in my angle. So that's what I'm gonna do. So let me take this guy out. You guys can see in there. Comes right out. And if you ever wanted to know, this is what all the fuss is about. And you can see oil is in there right now. So you can see that. So it's definitely a drain. The other thing that this kit has that I like is they give you an O-ring that you got to install that goes around the radius in there. You can see that. And if you guys don't know, one of the golden rule tricks is you want to lube up your O-rings before you snap it in there. And as you can see, it goes in just like that, and I gotta pop that in all the way around. But it goes in like that, and it'll snap in. Let me use a petroleum-based lube, of course. There's a little dirt inside of my, see, that's what I'm using. I'm going all the way around it. And when I'm done installing this, of course, that way you lube that up. That prevents that O-ring from tearing upon installation and having to do this job again you don't want to do this job again. You know why? At bare minimum, you got to drop the engine and transmission at least down enough at an angle so you can get to the back of the head to pop this thing out. I don't think you'll be able to do that in the car. All right. Now, and they put them in these little baggies, the parts. So Norway is one of those places that I can see is of a high quality. That's their belief. Provide a high quality. Now, the one thing with their bolt that they give you is on the head of it, they give you the torque of what you're supposed to torque this thing down to, which is 20 Newton meters. This bolt gets torqued to 20 Newton meters. It's also sealed by, guess what? Another O-ring. So you got to slide your O-ring on. And it just goes right in that groove. Sits in there like that, as you can see. And then you take the same technique, some type of Vaseline or assembly lube, some kind of lubrication, just so you don't destroy this O-ring upon install. You do this right, you'll never have to service this. All right, so we got that all lubed up. As you can see, it's like a wing nut design, and it's only made to go on one way. That's the way it's got to go on. And it's got to go into your, and then it just grabs. Man, that's actually a pretty good design. Damn. Yeah, that's pretty dope. All right. Let's see if I can get this. Yeah, you're not going to be able to do that. This is the one trick I was looking at with this design or this setup, guys. All right. I guess you just thread it on there just enough to start, really. Maybe, hopefully, because I don't know any other way that you'll be able to do that. All right, thank God. There it is. So, no tricks. It's sitting in there. Now, I just got to get the right Allen key and tighten that thing up. Now, if you got an Allen keys on the socket, more power to you. Apparently, that's what I need to get a metric set from the good old Harbor Freight. But these are the Allen keys I'm talking about. You need that to tighten this up. And you got to get the right size, which I'm going to share with you guys once I figure it out myself. Great. It's a 6, and for whatever God known reason, I don't have a 6. Spoke it into existence on camera. So guys, if you want to know, guys and girls, it is a 6mm Allen key. I don't have a 6, I got a 5.5. So I'm not going to be able to snug this up all the way, but I'm going to have to just use the tightener. Now, one thing I just ran into that I've seen here is the O-ring likes to get pinched. So that's probably why they give you a spare, just in case you destroy it, I guess. But what you need to do, the technique, is to push this thing in and seat it. Seat it in there and then start tightening it. Because if not, you're going to run the risk of your O-ring coming out and getting pinched. And what you got to do is just inspect it as you tighten it. And just make sure that you don't see green once you've gotten this thing snugged up. So that's just snug. So I didn't tighten it up, try to torque it or anything, because that's a 20 Newton meter torque spec. And then the other part of it is, I don't have the M6 Allen to do that. So I got to get that in a probably a 1/4 inch drive. I can probably find it in 3/8, because I'm gonna need that anyways, because remember, I gotta put my clutch and all back on, and it takes Allens. And speaking of that clutch setup, another video, I'm gonna talk to you guys about that. So anyways, this video is pretty much done. As you can see, you go ahead and you get this started, and you gotta push it in there, and just look around, make sure you didn't pinch your O-ring anywhere. And then the last step of this, once you got it clocked the way that you want, right, you got to go ahead and install this. And that's it. And pretty much your line will go up to this point. Now, while I am there talking about that, I just want to share one thing while it's still here. I guess I could wait till it was welded on, but I remember I spoke about the leak spec oil pan setup extension that I'm going to run on the car, and I was talking about having one of these as the drain back from my catch can, which I still could do if I really wanted to. But right now, what I'm going to do on the exhaust, the hot side, is I'm going to cap this, and I'm going to run my drain line from the back of the head right back into the sump. So that's easy peasy. That's done. And then I'm going to give you guys up of this so you see how it looks when it's installed. Except you won't see this, of course. You got to lube that O-ring, and then you got to tighten that all the way up so it doesn't leak on you. But she's there. She's on there nice and tight. That's what she looks like, guys. And I'll get up on it so you can see a little bit more detail. This is what she looks like. And this is the HPR Tuning solution for the RB heads for their drain back. I don't know if this is going to show up on film because it's shiny and it's tiny, but they went through all the trouble, guys, of etching the torque specs for this right into the bolt, which is a very heavy duty stainless steel bolt, by the way, if you guys want to know. And that's it. So you just, you look around it and make sure you don't see green. You see green, you got problems. That means the O-ring is pinched, but she's not pinched. And then the other thing I was saying, upon install of this, once you get it positioned and before you start tightening, what you want to do is kind of look around, make sure it's not pinching the O-ring anywhere before you push it. You push this in, the seat it into the fitting, and then you start turning it while keeping pressure on it. Because if you let pressure off, it has a tendency to pop back out until it tightens up. And then you run the risk of pinching that O-ring. Like I said, HPR does give you a spare O-ring, but hopefully you don't need that. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick video. It's a quick video for me anyways, of the HPR head drain install on your RB cylinder head. And I'll be back soon. This week coming up, I'll be taking the sump in my pan in to get welded on. And I'm ready to rock, guys. I'll be ready to rock. I'll be able to start putting this thing back together. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. Remember, don't ever stop trying to be the best versions of yourselves. Keep loving yourselves. Keep giving love to the rest of the world. Be real to yourself, guys. Be real to each other. And till the next time I see you. All right. Peace.